good. If I don't wrap myself up. Turn this on. Let me know when people get in here.
Okay.
And it's on, by the way.
I know.
Alright, so what we're going to do today is we're going to cut a citrine. I just got to get this angle set up. So I always tap it a couple times. Alright, so we're going to cut the citrine here. We should make a very pretty stone. It's very rich citrine, to be honest. So we got it at a 42.20 on the angle, the digital angle dial. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut to a center point here. So we need to start our water. Get our water going. Got our sponge there to catch any swarf. And I don't have to turn on very high, because I'm not looking to so much cut fast. I don't need this thing popping off the top on accident. Because if it does, I'll have to recut it, and then that's just a waste of a pretty stone. So what we're doing now is we're using a 600 grit lap, and we're going to cut a center point onto this. Hello, Mama Source. I just wanted to see how that looked there. Looks like it'll cut right pretty good. Now I want to try to find my lowest point. Cut from there. You know what? I'm just going to start more. How about that? So what we're going to do, I'll try to put my hand like this so everybody can see. What we're going to do is we're just going to grind this stone down until it comes to a center point here. We've been kind of gone for a few weeks with the hurricane damage in North Carolina, and that being a pretty big gemstone place, we kind of didn't want to stream. Thought it might be a little in bad taste to stream while everything like that was going on with them. And so we just kind of hung back and waited a little bit. And before, like, I didn't do a stream before that week because I was working on a pretty big project. I had a friend of mine at Jacob the Jewelers, and he had a very beautiful, very big tourmaline, but it was cut, I mean, terribly. So I was working on fixing that up and trying not to lose as much carat weight as possible. I still lost more than I would have liked to, but excuse me, that stone was so bad. I mean, I ain't even upset with how much I lost, to be honest. It was just that bad. So let me get my little. Oh, he also gave me this. A really good jeweler's loop. And this thing, I'm telling you, it makes life easy. It makes life easy when you got a good old loop. Still got to cut a little bit more. Maybe that center point. And also, I got another thing. This right here. Loctite 480. Now, watch it. actually pop off the dop and make me look like a fool after I'm already giving them a shout out. But I was using the Loctite 401 and the stones kept popping off like crazy. Or I'm sorry, Loctite 404. Stones kept popping off like crazy. And I went and did some little research on it, and it's because of the vibrations in the stones, and the glue gets brittle, kind of like the stones do. Well, that Loctite 480 actually has some rubber in it, from my understanding. So it takes the shock a little better. It absorbs some of those vibrations a little better, and it doesn't tend to chip off. So. That is true, and he really did enjoy it. I mean, he loved that tourmaline I cut. So that was really good. And I like this citrine. This is a very rich orange citrine, and I'm hoping. What?
Paul Armbruster.
Okay.
Paul is here again.
Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mama Source said shock absorber, LOL.
Shock absorber indeed.
Talking about the glue.
Well, Paul, it's nice to hear from you. I know you was up in you're in Georgia. How'd you ride out the storm? How are you doing? I know a few other people I need to get in touch with that are up in Georgia as well. In the mountains of Georgia.
He says fine.
Well, good. I'm glad he's all right. I've been doing this pretty much every day, and then we got to take my service dog Ranger to the vet tomorrow because I found this really weird lump on his ear, and it's very pink and lumpy and bleeding. So we're taking him to his vet tomorrow to see what's up with him. Hopefully he's all right. Other than that, it's just been cutting stones, and then.
Paul says, "How do you like your new toy?"
You know what? It's fun. It's definitely fun. I was getting real frustrated with it, to be honest, because I was using this stuff, the Loctite 404, and every time I'd cut, and it would always be like just as I was getting done with the pavilion, right? The stone would pop off the dop. And I'm cutting at low speed and everything like that. I'm not really doing too much. I'm running plenty of water. Well, it come to find out that it's the vibrations in the glue that makes it brittle and the stone pops off. So I started using this Loctite 480, which is like, I believe like I said earlier, it's got some rubber in it, so it absorbs a little better. And haven't had one pop off since.
Better knock on that wood.
Well, knock on my head and then the wood. How about that? Both of them's hard objects. So, I mean.
Paul says that he uses wax.
I do have some dopping wax. I probably should use that too, but I just find the Loctite 480 so much simpler for me because then I can just heat it up, pop it off, and then whenever it's completely done, just dip it in acetone. And believe it or not, this stuff comes off almost immediately in acetone. Like really quick. Can you
What?
go grab the topaz I did?
The itty tiny one?
Yeah, the itty tiny one. But I did a topaz with it, and I put it in that acetone and literally put it in there, waited maybe 2-3 seconds, and then just scraped the rest of it off with my finger, and it was gone. and it was real quick, and I really did enjoy it. Now, if you're saying anything, you can't see it just yet because Laura's grabbing the stone. She'll read it. Yeah, it's in the bedroom, Bob, where I usually keep the timepiece. And what do you think of this citrine, Paul? I really like it. I think it's real pretty citrine. It'll probably turn out real good. Well, I just need the topaz. So this topaz here, I don't know if you can see it or not. You want to hold it up to the camera more? Since I can't, you know, really. It's that topaz there. And that topaz is like my 5th stone I've done. Here. That topaz is like the 5th stone I've done. I feel like I'm picking it up pretty good. But that also could be because it's just fun. This really is just fun. But yeah, that stuff come off almost immediately.
You said it looks good.
Thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, but I got a lot of rough I got to cut through, and now that I have this glue that seems to help really, really well, I got to start cutting stuff for family members and things like that. And then for our church, we have a Lottie Moon auction, and the Lottie Moon auction helps get like Bibles into countries and things like that. Hold on one second. High quality H2O.
Mamasaurus says it's pretty. Laverne says the more I look at it, the more it looks like a record player.
Good records. Only the good ones. But I need to cut something for the Lottie Moon auction so we can auction it off. And I need to pick a design. It'll probably be synthetic, whatever it is, just because the Lottie Moon auction is mainly like older Southern people, so they don't really go for like the gemstone stuff so much. But I also thought about maybe one day in the future doing a auction for the channel. You know, YouTube will let you do like donations and stuff. For charity, and then just have people buy the gemstones, and whenever they buy them, they just donate the money to charity, and that way it's like on the screen, people can see it's getting donated, and there's no worries there. And I also had some other ideas, but I don't. Number one, I think they're kind of presumptuous, but also I don't even know if I'd have enough days of my life to be able to do it. But it's just an idea I've been holding on to, not the auction, but another thing. I thought it might be kind of nice to cut some synthetic gemstones for the people in North Carolina and Georgia who's lost family members, and it's not, you know, money or nothing, but it's something just kind of showing that we thought about them. But I don't know, the way people's talking, it's pretty bad, and I don't even know if I'd be able to cut enough for everybody.
Laverne says pretty soon you'll be spinning a little bit of James Brown.
What's that?
Laverne said pretty soon you'll be spinning a little bit of James Brown.
A little bit James Brown, Barry White I like, some Al Green, some Marvin Gaye, but
Paul says ruby for the blood of Christ.
Ooh. Ooh, that might be really good.
We got some synthetic.
We do have some synthetic ruby. Do you know any designs that would be good for that, Paul? You got a good eye for the material. I mean, you got a good mind for the material. You got any good designs in mind that you can kind of give a shout out here? I can practice at least. I really do like that ruby idea, though. That's really good.
Laverne says everyone loves Marvin Gaye.
I think a lot of people love Marvin Gaye. Can you write down ruby, blood of Christ, Lottie Moon? That was a really good idea. And I'm going to assume, Paul, that you were named Paul after Paul in the Bible, formerly Saul.
Mamasaurus is asking is there a cross pattern?
Well, I think
there was one or two that we had, but they're kind of time consuming.
Well, not much time consuming. Well, I mean, look, it may be time consuming, but I just more or less me just worried about being able to actually do it myself. You know what I mean? Oh Lord, just a little bit. Take another trip around the sun. Shouldn't hurt it. Because we're cutting to a center point, but we still have a little bit there. And that's where the problem lies.
Mamasaurus says maybe a heart.
A heart for...
A heart shape?
Yeah, heart for Jesus' love.
Paul says you could frost the cross.
Do you have a... what cross idea, though? Is it the cross on the pavilion? Would the cross be on the pavilion? See, I haven't really done any cross designs yet. I've been kind of sticking to somewhat mediocre designs to kind of get my talents up. So that's why I was asking if you knew one that's kind of like a good beginner cross design. That's all right. Kind of cool. But I think a frosted cross would look good. And I think it would actually pop out and stand out a lot and might even get a couple people to open up their wallets for the auction. Yeah. You gonna bake one of your famous cakes?
Probably.
My wife's a really good pastry chef, so whenever she bakes something, people tend... I think... so we go to church with my Uncle Lloyd, and how much did he spend on the cake?
It was his pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
And I don't know, but he was fight over that thing.
I think altogether, one of your cakes brought in like $150 for the auction. I mean, but I mean, granted, these are Southern Baptists, so they spend money on food like it's going crazy. They spend it on it might be their last meal they ever eat. So.
Mamasaurus says, or you could do a tear shape representing the drop of blood. Paul says it could be a square with a cross on the crown.
Ooh, I like that. So it's up there, it's at your face. I like that idea. Oh, by the way, I did get Jim Cut Studio and then Jim Cat as well, because we talked about that last time, Paul. And that might be a good way for me to help, or for me to get a right design for it. I kind of like that frosted cross on the front though, on the crown, because then you got, like, it's there, it's obvious, They don't have to go looking for it. You don't have to stand up there and show it to them. It's right in their face. By the way, Laverne, I'm still waiting to hear back from my dad. I keep asking him when he's got time, and it's apparently a lot's going on with him. What's that?
Always ask mine.
I know. It's nice kind of being able to live stream though, and then have people in here. Because when I'm in here by myself, it does tend to get lonesome. So.
Ranger don't talk back.
No, you don't. Especially with him possibly. Wanting to get after this. This light here is also a laser pointer. And he sees the dot because when you run it through first, like I'll show you on my head, that's the like first push, but you have to push it all the way down to get to that. And that one little thing, he knows when I pick it up and I do that, he knows that sound by heart. So he will look for that dot. He'll look for it constantly. So when he's in here, he kind of gets to be a little crazy about it. Wanting to boop into my hand while I'm cutting and stuff like that, trying to find it.
Laverne says, don't blind me with it or I'll be seeing spots.
Well, you can also see Spot run. Boy, that was lame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Oh.
How dare you, babe?
I deserve to be ridiculed after that. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the great time we've had tonight. I'm going to leave now. I probably deserve to be pushed into a lake.
Laverne says, and Dalmatians too.
Yeah. I'm gonna refrain from saying the stupid joke I thought of. Oh man. But I really have enjoyed doing all this cutting. I got to order me another, I want to say maybe it's a 300 grit wheel. It's the black wheel from Cab King. I gotta order me one of those so I can get back to cutting some knives again too, because there's some people that's been wanting them, but it's getting that, but it's also doing this because a lot of people around here want like a local faceter, and I'm wanting to provide that for them. But in order to do that, I need to get much better than what I am now.
Mama Sora says Ranger just wants to help cut. Laverne says we've all seen 101 Dalmatians, and Ranger will forever be a good boy.
He will forever be a good boy. Forever. He may be wanting to help cut. Who knows? But I think his whole goal is to get after that DOT. So, oh, and he even knows how to spell dot too. So we had to start saying Department of Transportation. So he's all about that thing. I'm telling you.
Paul says get toppers off of Amazon.
Oh, I'm talking about for my Cab King. I've been getting my toppers from Lightning Lap.
Yeah.
Lightning Lap. You're saying they got some on Amazon, or are you saying they got better stuff on Amazon? My eyes are tired, y'all. We even got to go to the vet. time we got bid to bed?
10:20.
10:20 tomorrow.
We went today to get the girls their vaccines.
Vaccines and shots, and when we got home,
That's what we noticed.
the huge old lump on the inside of his ear, and the only reason I noticed it is when I went to go pet him, my finger grazed the inside of his ear, and I felt something, and I went to look at it, and it was a pretty big old lump on the inside.
Paul says they're different.
They're different? Okay. Either way, I'll still look at them. So we got our pavilion cut. So what we need to do now is we'll need to size the stone. I might actually go ahead and do a little bit of polishing.
It says I use lightning laps too. They are made in Georgia.
Are they? I didn't know they were made in Georgia. I did talk to the fella who makes or who owns it, and very nice fella, very polite, very nice. We actually talked on the phone for about a good 30 minutes before I had to go. But I mean, very good fella. I didn't know he made them in Georgia though. But he's one of the people I need to call and see how he's doing. Because from my understanding, he lives in the mountains of Georgia. I may be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I think that's where he lives. And I ain't gonna lie, this has got to be really relaxing for me to be able to sit here and do like this, because I do not like to be still at all. So this is, like, faceting is legitimately fun to do.
Paul says 1,200.
1,200?
Yeah.
For what?
I don't know. He just said 1,200.
Oh, what to move on to next? Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Burn said, no, you don't.
No, I don't. What?
You don't know how to sit still.
No. No, that is true.
He said we're both like that.
Yeah, it's kind of antsy. Not antsy.
Your son's like that too.
Yeah. Apparently the baby's in there doing stunts.
Cartwheels, jumping jacks, boxing.
I want the baby to be here before Christmas. That way, you know, I don't know. I just want him to be here before Christmas.
Fern said, oh goodness.
Well, Laura wants the baby to be here on the due date.
I just want the baby here healthy. That's all I want.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when we talked, you said you would prefer the baby to be here on the due date. That way, you know, let her kind of order for their first Christmas. But
Paul says the lap that you just put on is a 1,200 lightning lap.
yes, 1,200. What I planned on doing is going to 12, and then I don't have a lot of experience with quartz. But I heard that you could go 12 and then 8. Hold on, let me put that back. And then 14, 50K, and then cerium. And that would leave a really good polish on it.
Laverne says that I'm fed up being a baby punching bag.
Probably.
Look, if he's moving, I know he's good.
That's true too. I mean,
he's not been moving. he suddenly stops moving, I don't want to worry. Because he's been moving since I could start feeling it.
Yeah, he's pretty active.
You don't like his pictures taken either.
No, when the ultrasound comes along, he will just run around in there.
Turn and move.
Yeah.
And they gotta chase him.
He's dodging and weaving. Who knows? He might be a running back. The way he's juking the juking the ultrasound. Might be playing halfback.
Whoever said he's playing hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
You do something.
He's definitely moving though. What do you think, Paul? You think I should go 12 and then 8, 14, 50 and then cerium? Or do you usually do something different? Again, this is kind of like my first quartz rodeo, so. Plus, I know we talked about maybe saying hey to each other again during the Franklin show next year, but do you think they'll even have the Franklin show next year? Do you think the infrastructure will be back in place by then?
He says that he uses 320, 600, then polish. There's no need to go from a 50K to cerium. 50 is polish.
Okay. Alright, well that makes sense then. And that'll save a bunch of time too. Do you do the same thing for CZ as well?
Paul says no.
No. What do you do for CZ? I love cutting. Golly.
Laverne says you're a regular Inspector Gadget.
What was that for?
I don't know. But Paul says 50K.
50K? Okay. That's not bad. Makes my life easier. You know what I mean? But like I said, I went and talked to Jacob the jeweler. He's a guy that lives near me, and we talked about, you know, he does collection pieces sometimes. He won't. So I brought in one of the gemstones I finished, and it was a heart amethyst. And I just wanted to mess around and see if I could do something like that, and I did. It took me a while, but I did it. And he was immediately like, hey, what do you think about us doing like some collection pieces together? You cut the stones and then I'll make the settings and I'll sell them. And I was like, well, if that's what you want, I'll be more than happy to. So I guess now it's time to start taking myself a little more serious now. I ain't trying to sound egotistical, by the way. I'm just saying things have been moving pretty good for me recently. So, 39. And I've also thought about maybe getting some helenite and cutting some of that too. Some helenite would make some really beautiful gemstones. And I know it's technically man-made, you know, gemstone, but still the story behind it and it's almost kind of eerie too. I like it, to be honest. When we do that and do a giveaway of that, might be kind of fun. Also, Paul, do you make your own settings? Do you sell your gemstones? What do you do? Or do you just focus on cutting and selling?
He says CZ, he does 320, 600, 1200, 3000, then 50K.
Then 50K. Okay.
You need me to write that down?
Yes, please. Do you ever use cerium, or do you just is it just good after 50K? I know I asked a ton of questions, but it's rare to get to pick somebody's brain. And these are kind of questions that pop into my head while I'm sitting here by myself most of the time. Citrine's really pretty.
He said I always use it on quartz.
You always use it on quartz. Okay.
The verse says it means you love your craft and want to learn more about it.
That's true. I do. It is fun. Or can you go check on them dogs? I heard something fall in there. Please, darling. Please and thank you. I love you. Yeah, I mean, it is genuinely a fun time doing this. I do wish that, again, it's one of those things. I'm a talkative person. Well, yeah, I am. And I mean, Laverne can attest to that too, since we know each other, outside of the internet, and it's just weird being in here, even with something playing in the background. It's still just weird being in here and not talking. You know what I mean?
Paul says there's no dumb questions.
Well, don't say that, Paul, because I will. Trust me, I will find a way to surprise you.
But no, that was Laverne. Not Laverne. Wow, that was Ranger. Laying by the door, and that's his butt hitting the door.
Oh,
Guess he just loves to lay on doors.
yeah, he does.
Paul says, "Let me have it." I guess.
Dumb question. All right, hold on. Let me think. Because my best dumb questions come whenever I'm trying to think of something smart. Let's see. What can I say that's dumb? Huh?
He said, "Well, there you go."
Yeah. I don't know. You said it, and now my mind's drawn a blank. Why do we cut to a center point? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something dumb.
Next time you think of one, you gotta write it down.
I know. I need to just have my dumb question wall.
Have a journal.
Yeah. pretty though. I'll make sure I hit everything. That's gonna be a pretty citrine. A real pretty one. Alright. So we're done with this plate. Now
Paul says otherwise there would be windowing.
oh.
Because you said why'd you cut a
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
See, there's an answer to dumb questions.
The challenge is actually coming up with a dumb question when somebody goes, give me a dumb question. It's like, it would be like if somebody said, give me a really good question. I'd be like, I would immediately come up with one of the stupidest questions there was. You know what I mean? It's
Paul
just.
says next question.
So we did the 1200. So citrine is quartz. I think we moved to the 8. This is what we said. What plate should we move next to, Paul? How about that? Ooh.
Why are you throwing stuff?
I didn't mean to. It was the gemstone. It was the topaz.
Ask him which one is the most challenging for him.
That's not a dumb question, though, Laverne.
Only dumb questions. Come on, Laverne.
Yeah.
Give it the program.
Give it the game, man. But yeah, that's actually a good question, though. That's a good question. Which one's the most challenging stone?
Paul says Portuguese.
Portuguese cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would think Portuguese cut's pretty.
I want one of those.
Pretty tough.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard you. I was trying not to, but I did.
One of these days, we go on a cruise and people are like, oh my God, where'd you get that? I'm like, my husband cut it.
My wife enjoys the finer things in life. My wife, she enjoys the finer things in life, for sure. And she makes sure I know it.
He said, but it's easier than you think.
Is it? It looks pretty tough, to be honest. I mean, you look at all those. My Lord, how many facets does a Portuguese cut have?
Without looking at the diagram, I have no idea.
It's a ton. I don't even know if I got a Portuguese cut diagram
I think you have
printed
one
out.
printed something in the book. He said one step at a time.
It's true. True. One step at a time. Now, have you done any cutting competitions, Paul? Turn that up a little bit more.
Laverne's asking which is the most time consuming.
I would assume that's the Portuguese cut as well. I will say though, I did do this. That heart design was pretty.
Paul says he did a smoky quartz with 160 facets on it.
So that's 160 facets. Your smoky quartz, how many plates did you use? Because I like to add them up too. I like to go, how many plates did I use? So plates times the number of facets. And are you including your girdles into that into your facets? Oh, God bless.
Oh, why? Gotta pick up this stone before it fell.
Thank you. Thank you, my darling.
Vern said bless you.
Thank you.
So did Mama Source.
Thank you. But I'm not calling you my darling, Vern.
Paul said yes, so I guess he said that's including the girdle or whatever he said.
Okay. That's pretty time consuming.
Yeah, Laverne, I'm the only darling.
That's pretty time consuming. I ain't even gonna lie. That's. How long did it take you to do it? Because as you see, I kind of move slow. Oh boy, that's starting to look real pretty. I hope I can get some good carrot weight out of it. What?
Laverne says, I know you are. He's only the darling.
It's true. It's true. She is my only darling.
Paul says, I think I timed that when it over 10 hours.
Wow. And you're pretty experienced at this, Paul. So 10 hours is that's quite a good amount of time, especially for somebody that's got experience like you. Now, for me, it would take a days. Now, did you factor in the price of those 10 hours into the stone, or did you give it to somebody like, you know what I mean? Because I know the first one I ever do, the Lord's going to have my head if I don't give it to her. So, what?
I thought of Renfield.
You thought of Renfield?
Yeah.
What about
He
it?
said I'll have my head, but then I was like, I don't want your something, I just want your life.
Oh, Renfield, whenever it was after the bug.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen Dracula, Dead and Loving It by Mel Brooks? Or, directed by Mel Brooks?
Oddcat says hello.
Wildcat says hello? Hello, Wildcat.
Oddcat.
Oh, Oddcat. Very well. Hello, Oddcat.
Paul said no.
No, you didn't factor in the 10 hours into the stone? It's probably...
Dang it, Laverne.
It probably does make them really good. Did you sell it, or did you keep it or give it away? If you kept it, I wish there was a way I could get in touch with you so I could see some pictures of it or a video.
I'll beat up Laverne.
Why is that?
Because you gotta expect Inspector Gadget song stuck in my head.
But yeah, so I'm a big Mel Brooks fan. I like his movies. I like Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and Dracula, Dead and Loving It. And it was funny because in Dracula, Dead and Loving It, I cannot remember the English actor's name that plays Renfield, but my lord, is that guy. He just naturally fits the role, and just funny. Just really funny in the character. And one of the things he was in this insane asylum. And, you know, Dracula gave him the life. Or he's like, you know, you'll eat bugs, you'll, you know, sustain yourself off of bugs and stuff like that. And Renfield's in that insane asylum, and he's like eating bugs off the table. He's eating grasshoppers, stuff off the table in front of the guy, trying to play it off like he's normal. It's one of the. It truly is a pretty funny scene.
Should we watch that this weekend?
Yeah, that's fine. It's getting close to Halloween, so you need to watch it anyways. Yeah. That's just funny. It's like, did you just eat that bug off the table? I did not. And he's got the bug's leg hanging out of his mouth. I did not. He's like, the poor thing is wriggling in your mouth. He's trying to survive. I'm not going to sit here and be insulted.
Laverne says that he played in the movie Warm Bodies. And then Paul's asking, what about Lonesome Dove?
Lonesome Dove. I haven't seen that. Is that by Mel Brooks?
Grr.
If that's so, then I have to get it and watch it. Oh man. And then who's the guy who played the boyfriend in Dracula Dead and Loving It?
I don't know the name.
You remember who I'm talking about? They had the long curly hair.
Yeah.
And the girl was trying to, you know, seduce him. Yeah. And she's like, what? You don't like me? And it goes, but I'm English.
We don't do that.
We're English.
Paul says no, it's not a Mel Brooks movie.
Lonesome Dove.
Did I write that down too?
What are you talking about, Lonesome Dove? I'm a little scatterbrained at the moment, so plus we hit the hour milestone to do like what is it, stickers and stuff. We just haven't asked YouTube to approve it yet, but we might hear in the future. Plus, it seems like YouTube's really going towards the live stream more than anything. It seems like they're trying to push people towards live streams and stuff like that. So,
He said it's a Western with Robert Duvall.
okay. Okay. You want to write Lonesome Doves now? We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we might like it.
I like westerns. I like old westerns. I say old western, older westerns. It's funny because I showed Laura Tombstone.
I want to watch that again too.
I showed Laura Tombstone, and you know, some of my favorite, you know, lines, and it's the 90s Tombstone. Was one of them is what's his name? He's talking to that fella. They're at the poker table. He's talking to that fella. He goes, "Are you saying we ain't friends no more? Because I don't think I could bear it."
I don't know his name, but I can see his face.
But Doc Holliday told him that.
He's the one that he killed under the tree.
Yep. And no, you're thinking the guy that was like, well, I was just fooling around, and then Doc goes, I wouldn't. Which is also another great line, you know.
Paul says it's been on TV several times. It's quite a lengthy movie. It's about 3 or 4 parts.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Odyssey movie from the 90s. It's like I think the Odyssey movie in the 90s was about 3.5, 4 hours long.
We watched all of it.
It was a good movie. I know a lot of people don't look at it this way, but I think that Odyssey movie was also a really, well, Odyssey in general is a love story in a way, you know. But I mean, he does also cheat on his wife, though. But in ancient Greece, it wasn't one of those things that it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Paul says I'm your huckleberry.
I am your huckleberry, yep. And then Laura,
Don't you start.
then Laura, she started crying when Doc Holliday died at near the end.
Not just him, when the little brother died too.
Yeah, Wyatt Earp's brother died
On the pool table.
on the pool table. He was trying to do surgery to save his life. But no,
No, I cried.
she cried when Doc Holliday died, though. I mean, she and
My favorite.
yeah, his boots was on. He said it's quite funny, isn't it? And Laura started crying.
Oh, I can't watch that movie now.
Not with you being pregnant.
My emotions could not handle it.
And the crazy thing is with the little brother's death, it was just, I think they said they wanted to keep it more accurate.
Accurate.
So it wasn't like a lot of fanfare or anything like that with it. It was just kind of like well, he's dying on the pool table now. He's dying, he's dead. You know, kind of thing. So it was just really like to the point with his. But they found a way to make it actually emotional too.
I think it's because his wife is in the background screaming, freaking out.
Well, yeah, I mean, understandably. What?
Paul says Doc Holliday's from Georgia. I think it's down near Macon.
Macon, Georgia? I wouldn't doubt it. Which they also said that he grew up kind of a hard life too. Not like, I think he was actually pretty rich. Wasn't his like father rich, and then his father died, and then his mother somehow lost everything.
I think so.
And then that's when she passed, he decided to move out west.
And dang tuberculosis got him.
Yeah, tuberculosis got him. It did indeed get him.
What's with tuberculosis? First Doc Holliday, then Arthur off of the game.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ugh.
Hey, tuberculosis was bad back in the day now, before they had medicine for it. And I think it can still get you if you don't treat it quick enough.
Yeah, they have vaccines and stuff for it.
I know, but if you get sick and stuff and you don't treat it, I think it can still do you in for. And I actually got this rough right here from Joe Henley. What?
I'm just playing parts of Tombstone in my head.
Oh. Hallelujah. That's one of her favorite lines too.
Paul says Doc Holliday was a dentist and he caught tuberculosis from supposedly his younger brother.
Oh, okay. Well, see there? I didn't know he caught it from his younger brother. I knew he caught it and he moved out west because they said that the dry air would help him live longer. I don't even know if that's even true, if dry air does help you live longer with it, but I think that was the advice, to get away from a humid climate.
Well, they've gotta move.
What's that?
It says we gotta move.
I ain't got tuberculosis, and neither do you.
I'm just saying, if one of us ever do,
We'll get medicine.
we gotta move to Arizona.
And then Andrew Jackson, he's from South Carolina. I think he's from Union, South Carolina, if I remember correctly. There was a big old debate though if he was on the South Carolina side or North Carolina side. And North Carolina claims him, South Carolina claims him, but when he would say where he's from, he would say he's from South Carolina. And he he's I think the only president to ever come out of South Carolina. And I think Carter's the only one to come from Georgia, but I may be wrong. I don't want to be presumptuous. You know what I mean? Just making sure we get all those scratches out of there. There's some scratches that showed up, and I wonder if it's something I did on this plate or not. They're gone now, so it had to be. Also, when we were in school, I remember watching a video on Jackson and about how he broke the banks. Well, he broke the Bank of America. Because apparently they were, at the time, they were handing out loans to certain people that they liked, and then like competition, or people they thought was competition to other companies that they were kind of involved with, they wouldn't hand out loans to them, and it was one of those big things. God bless. And that, and he always wanted to duel somebody. Found that out too in school a lot. Man always wanted to fight somebody. God bless. But Doc Holliday, I like. Laura likes it when I try to do his accent or talk like him. But I haven't done it and heard it in so long, I don't think I could even do it. Because he's got more of a sophisticated drawl. I got more of a rednecky drawl. You know.
Maybe we gotta watch it. Gotta practice. Got you that shirt.
Are you looking at the comments?
Nothing's been said yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I got you that shirt for a reason.
I'm your Huckleberry. You ain't no Huckleberry. You ain't no Huckleberry at all. The whole time that fella's calling him a lunger. Because it was a slang term for people with tuberculosis. It was like, you know, it was a bad way of calling somebody with tuberculosis, I think. And it was just funny. He goes, I was just fooling Lunger. And he goes, I wouldn't. Which, I mean, I don't even think Doc really mind if that fella won, as long as he got that fella with him, because he knew he was going to pass from that tuberculosis anyways. So I don't think it really bothered him one bit if he passed, as long as he took the other fella with him.
Another line that you can count on. You're a daisy if you do.
You're a daisy if you do. Oh no, it's you're no daisy at all.
Oh.
That's it. Yeah, you was right about that. And then, what?
Paul says, although QZ is harder than quartz, it is easier to cut.
You know, I found that it really did go quicker using QZ. It really did, and I think QVC.
Why you selling it? Not like that.
CZ has this really cool refraction to it. And somebody was saying that CZ is starting to become pretty popular again among jewelry gemstones. Like it's starting to become like a popular thing again. I don't know if that's the case or not. You know, you just hear people talk and you kind of roll with it. And that it's replacing a lot of colored stones out there on the market. But who knows? To be honest, I like cutting natural gemstones because when they're not cutting this perfect square for you to, you know, cut or anything like that, and you see them as a rough and you're like, oh, I wonder what that's going to look like when it's all finished. It's kind of fun to go through that journey with a real one, with a fake one, because you know, or a man-made one, because you know they're all almost near perfect, you know. So it's kind of fun to walk down that road with a natural one and see where it's going to lead you. Man, this is turning out to be pretty though. I mean, for real pretty. And Paul, if you want to look up the design I'm doing right now, what website did we get it from, Lauren? It's the big database of faceting designs. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like the large collection of them, and it's crosscuts.bca. That's the one we're doing right now. And I'll be honest, I don't think we'll probably get done with it tonight. I mean, obviously. Yeah, it's good practice for sure. But I am really enjoying doing this though. I mean, again, I hope someday that we can get some young people into it and get them involved into stuff like this. That way it continues for a long, long time, at least in the United States. Hopefully long after we're all gone. And I think one way to do that is just show them the cool stuff they can make. I know a lot of things that keep the younger people out is the price of things, like the equipment and stuff. But I think if you showed them how much or what kind of cool things they could do with this, I think it would also help a lot getting people into it. Because, you know, if you'd asked me before I started doing this, if you ever saw yourself cutting gemstones, I'd have been like, no, not at all.
Paul's asking what is the design?
It's a cross-cut. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it off this backboard here.
Oh Lord.
75, 81, 87. I'll have her show it on there. Oh, who's it designed by? Designed by Jay Hammer. September of 2013. It is not a cheap hobby indeed, but if you can get into it, you can make some things that you never thought you could make. And I know a lot of people that are into this hobby have like been into rocks all their lives. Not me. Not me. I got into rocks. I mean, I've liked them and stuff. I've never like dove into them. I just go, oh, you know, pyrite looks cool. You know, amethyst looks cool. But other than that, you know, I was never into that kind of stuff. And then I started doing it for my wife, and you know, just ended up working out pretty well. So we got the pavilion somewhat cut. We'll have to come back and do some more on it after we get our girdle done. After we get our stone sized, that'll be easy. So we have a put this back on there. But yeah, I was never into that kind of stuff. And I always knew I was just going to join the Marine Corps. And, you know, you think you're going to, as a kid, you think whatever you get into first, you're going to do for the rest of your life. So I thought I was going to be a Marine until I retired. And, you know, little did I know retirement would come pretty early for me. So, it's a hobby I'm glad I picked up, though. Expensive or not, it's definitely it's been good to me, if that makes sense. I know. There. Okay. And then just to make sure I got the right one. What I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of sizing the girdle. And how low I gotta go. Now I got to go lower. I gotta go higher a little bit, by just a little tiny bit. But pretty much got it. So, alright. And that's on 87. So, as far as I knew, I was just going to be a Marine for the rest of my life. And then that did not take the path I thought it would. And I can't just sit around and do nothing. And this is a pretty fun hobby, to be honest. You got a rock club near you, Paul? Or a lapidary club? Getting there, y'all. I'm cutting this little sucker down.
He said you should do the girdle first because a lot of the mains come down to the girdle, and if you girdle later, you'll be cutting off the meat points.
Very well. Okay, girdle first from now on. Thank you, Paul.
Maybe not necessarily first, but in the early parts of putting the stone.
Okay. Well, I kind of like the idea of doing your girdles first, because then you gotta have like a, you know, almost like a rough outline of what you got. You know what I mean? So I kind of like the idea of girdle first. All right, let's do this. We got 3. We're going to go to a 9. Doing pretty good so far. The color of the citrine is holding up pretty good too, I got to say.
I thought you were going to say the kernel.
The curdle?
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. The color of this citrine though is holding up pretty well so far, I gotta say. So this is probably gonna turn out to be really pretty when it's done. Actually, I would even say it looks like it's getting darker. So far. We have to not let Laura see it when it's done though, because she might want to steal it.
Add it to my collection.
What's that?
Add it to my collection. My cast is going to be heavy. We're going to have some strong
Pallbearers.
pallbearers. I know I won't have it in heaven, but I'm taking it with me.
Well, we'll have some beautiful jewels in heaven. You know, that might be a cool little job. I keep saying that, but it might be a cool job for when I get to heaven. If the Lord will allow me to cut jewels for people's crowns. You know?
He's asking, what does the diagram indicate to cut first?
Cut to the center point, so to 42.20, the pavilion. And then go to girdle second. And then after you do girdle, you start putting your beat points in.
I think what you should do is, I forgot who did it, but describe the layers.
Huh?
Because he said he saw heaven, but he described the layers of the gate.
Yeah, so the layers of the foundation of heaven, one of them is amethyst. Basically, he was describing the gemstones in the priest's breastplate in Israel, the priest in the synagogue's breastplate. And they were describing the gemstones in it. There was like amethyst, emerald, jasper. I think lapis is one of them. But I mean, just nevertheless, I just think it would be cool if the Lord would, you know, let me cut
I'm saying
gemstones.
that would be pretty if you made like a mosaic or whatever
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. And then the gates were pearl, the roads were gold, and then the walls of heaven was a green see-through stone. He described it as a jasper, though. But I think maybe the only thing I think of is emerald. That what he saw. That's the only thing that comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty if you make that look
I'm always kind of apprehensive to depict, you know, anything heavenly. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to come off as making images or anything like that. And I don't know.
I wouldn't think you are literally if you're just illustrating what he saw. Like
Right.
you're putting it.
I still don't feel comfortable doing it though. It's just like if somebody come up to me and be like, "Hey, do you want to take the role of Jesus?" I'd be like, "Oh no, no." You know what I mean? Like, it just in a way it feels blasphemous almost. I'm probably going to move it down a little bit more, but that's okay. We'll get the rough outline and then we'll kind of move it down again. We'll walk our way down. Has anybody heard about the hurricane damage for the people in Florida? I heard it was like, it dropped a lot. It dropped like 2 categories before it made landfall. If that's the case, then what's that? Yeah, it's.
There's supposed to be a category 5.
What's that?
It's supposed to be a category 5, but it hit a 3.
Yeah. So I mean that's really good.
Paul says a lot of designs have you cutting the main facets and then the girdle depending on.
Oh, does it? And in that case, it still wouldn't matter if you cut the girdle first. Thank you. Yeah, citrine's looking really good. And I feel like I'm doing okay too. I'm moving a lot faster than what I normally do. And that may be because I'm a little tired, like my eyes are heavy. So what's that?
I need a haircut.
You need a what?
A haircut.
Oh. I thought you said I need to perk up. I'm like, Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna have to go around it again. A little lower. But still, run through the steps. Get that practice in. Alright, let's see. So, we're going to have to go quite a bit in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. What do we got? 81? See if I can't just scoot this down. And get it to the right size.
Paul says it's better to go by the instructions if it says cut them first. If it says cut them second after the mains, then do that.
Okay. Paul, have you ever done any competition cutting? I might have asked you that last time, but I've got a terrible mind. I got a terrible remembrance on things. That's why Laura kind of helps me out with stuff like that.
I try.
Yeah, you try.
My baby brain.
Yeah, since you've been pregnant, it's been kind of tougher remembering for you too. And I swear, sometimes I forget when my birthday's coming up.
Next year.
Next year. Yeah. It won't be this year. That's why she writes things down for me. I can just come back and read them.
And I got my desk. I got handwritten notes on it. I'm just writing on the desk.
Yeah. Yupper. We're just gonna work this down until we get it to where we need it. You okay?
Yeah. Ribs. The normal.
Baby making room.
Yeah.
Just a Baba making room.
Yeah.
rascal.
Paul says, no, I've never done any competitions. I don't think I'm quite good enough for that yet.
Well, who knows, Paul? Maybe we'll get good together and enter a competition. How about that?
Weldon Carey says, hey.
Hey, Weldon Carey, how you doing, buddy? How's everything in your neck of the woods? I know y'all had a hard time with the hurricane. I remember you said you lived around that area in Tennessee.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Good Lord's blessed me. I'm here. A little sleepy. I'm here.
Says I didn't get affected. I'm good. 20 minutes east of me got flooded bad.
Did they? Well, I'm glad you didn't get affected so much, man. How is Smoky Mountain Knife Works? They get a hold of you any?
I quit that job. So much to tell you, Elva.
Oh, my Lord. You quit it already? You didn't have it that terribly long.
Drama.
Lord, you're a drama. Laura's a drama queen, y'all.
Hey, if it's not concerning me and my family, then yes.
She ain't as bad as my grandma, but...
No, I'm not. We gotta see her tomorrow.
Yeah. Probably do it after we take Ranger to the vet and drop off the baby shower invite to her.
If I make a post on Facebook about it and she don't got an invite, then she'll be upset.
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny. My wife wanted to do a gender reveal, and so my grandma comes to the gender reveal, and you know, I made a point to not let it slip to grandma. Whatever you do, don't let it slip to grandma, right? And which, you know, it was more or less me talking to me because she didn't tell nobody. And I was trying not to tell anybody. So I didn't tell nobody, but I was trying not to like let it slip.
But you did though.
How'd I let it slip?
You let it slip to Dad.
How?
Because you accidentally said he and then you fixed yourself and all that.
Well, I justified it by saying I say he to a lot of things.
I know.
It ain't like it was just a slip of the tongue. But that's why I definitely didn't talk to grandma. Because there's an old saying. If grandma knows, the county knows.
I'm not saying, that's the truth.
So, we did the gender reveal and, you know, the smoke was blue and everything like that. And as soon as we got back inside, she's on the phone. She's going, who can I call?
It's like, it's a boy, it's a boy.
Yep.
I'm like, oh goodness, not even 5 minutes.
She's already talking.
But, Wally Carey says low pay, really bad system, no time for homework or studying, long hours, etc.
Okay, so...
And then he said congratulations.
Well, thank you. So... basically, they just weren't a good employer in general. not smart to do. I tell you, if you respect your employees, they'll work hard for you. Now, you can't baby them. You respect them, but don't baby them. Yeah, obviously they're grown. They're grown people. I heard about that one employer, what was it, in Tennessee, North Carolina, when that storm was going on. They told their employees they couldn't leave. And then they finally did tell them they could leave after the storm had been hitting for a while, and some of them passed. But then the employer themselves was saying that they didn't say that. It's had some plastic factory, which I don't know who to believe. I mean, I don't know why I would come in during a hurricane unless they said, hey, look, you know, we think it's going to be a safe place for y'all to stay during it. So if y'all want to come, come. But in that case, you'd think they'd be allowed to bring their families too. Yeah. What was the pros? Like discount on some knives or something like that?
He says he has a different job now, so it's all good.
Did you end up picking up a job with a knife maker? Boy, I have to cut down a lot to get that little dent out. Oh no!
What'd you do?
It's the first time it's happened.
It popped off?
Yeah. Oh no! Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Blame Obama.
I won't. Blame myself. I blame myself. There it is. Had to peek through.
You got it?
Yeah. Well, that is no bueno, y'all.
He says that he works at a conference center right now until he gets certified for welding.
Oh, okay. That's not terrible. Oh, this is horrible.
Can you put it back on and or do you gotta start all over?
As far as I know, I got to start all over. What do you say, Paul? Is there any way to salvage this? I didn't know it was somewhat like that. Oh, terrible. Terrible. Lord, why'd you let me do this?
I didn't do nothing. I'm over here in my corner.
Lord's like, I'm out my own business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you did this, Lord.
I did nothing. Like Schultz, I did nothing.
Nothing. I see nothing. I think what it was whenever this right here. Maybe if I don't have it so close to the edge, and it won't pop off. There's a little piece of that glue. I think that's what happens when it was, because at that outer edge here, it tends to just like wobble a lot. So I think that's probably what happened.
Well, it says I have to let my dog out. Have a great night, and I'll catch you again.
All right, take care, Will. this was just devastating. Why? Ugh. Okay. Well, that means I'm going to have to acetone this. And then try to put this back on and align it. Which also means I am going to lose more carat weight than I wanted to. So that sucks.
No bueno.
It is indeed no bueno. No bueno, mi amigo. Okay. Well, we will figure this out. We'll sort this out. We'll get it back up and going. Golly, that sucks though. Look at that. Ugh. So disappointed it popped off that dot.
Paul says he had one come off 4 times one time, and it was still and one time was still starting to polish it.
Oh. Well, usually it don't happen. So if I get one out of, every...
He said it's hard, real hard to get them exactly back where they were.
That's what I figured. I figured I might as well just, I still got plenty of dopping room on there. You know what I mean? I still got plenty of dopping room for this dop right here. So what I can just do is I can just put it back on there and cut it back to size. It shouldn't be too terrible, It shouldn't lose too much carat weight, but I hate losing any more than I got to, you know what I mean? That's where it comes in and be like, oh, this sucks.
That's your Jewish side coming out.
So what I need to do is I need to go get this in acetone. I'm going to rough this back end up just a little bit more.
You want me to do it?
No, we'll probably end the stream here. End it on a low note. That way we can show everybody when it's done and be like, haha, it did not defeat us. Alright. So, we're probably going to end the stream here. But I will definitely be sure to finish this up and push a short of it when it's all finished up. Also, I'm going to do a prayer before we leave. So, everybody who wants to stay for it, bow your head. If you don't, that's fine. But, bow your heads. God, I would like to thank you for the great time I've had tonight with everybody. I would like to ask you to look after the hurricane victims in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina. Just look after them. Wrap your arms around them. Show them the love and peace that they need right now. I want to thank you for all the great things you're doing in me and Laura's life. I want to thank you for our families and friends. I want to thank you for the people who stayed at the stream and watched today. If anybody is not saved, I pray that they do get saved. That way they can have everlasting, eternal life and joy with you in the kingdom of heaven. But we just want to thank you for all that you do, but most importantly, let your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, we're going to end it here tonight, y'all. Hey, I'm going to tell you just like my old preachers used to tell me, as much as I love you, God loves you more. Be safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.